He has chosen to teach the basics of Kung Fu to young people.
传统武术呢是这样哈，因为传统武术呢，它在
There is a big difference between martial arts and the cinema. Martial arts are based on reality, on authenticity.
它跟拍片完全可以说也有
In films, time is taken to prepare and direct each action.
动作美化，然后呢要经过
Everything is presented very aesthetically.
准备练习之后呢，才
Cinema shows what should be considered as a distant parent of Kung Fu.
地方。
Kung Fu does not mean martial arts. The ideogram is composed of the characters Kung, meaning accomplished work, and Fu, which means man. Kung Fu therefore means man who is fulfilled through his work. If we were to add the character Wu, meaning martial, and the character Shu, meaning art, we then have Kung Fu Wu Shu, which means man who is fulfilled through martial arts. Taiwan, almost 100 miles southeast of continental China. At the end of the 1940s, most of the great masters took refuge there with Chiang Kai-shek's army. On mainland China, the communist government that was abolishing traditions considered martial arts to be an old-fashioned relic. This type of personal fulfillment was not compatible with Mao's Little Red Book. Superstition and esotericism did not marry well with the comrades' ideology. In some cases, traditions that were abolished in China found refuge in Taiwan. Here, the modern and the ancient share everyday life. If the industrial sector has fueled Taiwan's rapidly growing economy, agriculture has helped preserve its authenticity and autonomy. With over 20 million inhabitants and bank reserves of $90 billion in foreign currency, Taiwan is one of the main economic powers of Asia. In a local school on the outskirts of Taipei, the capital of Taiwan, Lin Xian Hong teaches the South Shaolin style. In fact, it's more of a derivative of Shaolin, as the original style has almost completely disappeared. The Shaolin Temple was one of the most important places in the history of Buddhist martial arts. Many schools now bear its name, but only a few still teach the original method. Chinese martial arts have more than 400 different styles. Here, Lin is practicing the Hung family grip, one of the 5 versions of the Shaolin school method. A couple of years ago, Master Thu Ten Tien taught martial arts at the Yuan Tong Siyu Temple in the outskirts of Taipei. His pupils worked on the North Shaolin crane style 10 to 12 hours a day. In order to escape urban expansion, the monks left to find peace in the mountains in the center of the island. The temple has become a place for relaxation. Master Ru left to go and teach medicine in the People's Republic of China. But we managed to find Pan In Lan, his disciple. He trained under Master Ru for 15 years. Pan left the temple 10 years ago to take over the family's mortuary business. Today he is married and has 2 children. His work does not leave him enough time to practice regularly, but Pan has forgotten nothing. iron dummy cannot be used for practice by just anybody. A novice would immediately break his arms. A student must go through a long period of training as well as a medical checkup by the master before being allowed to throw a punch. This training requires intense practice. Only then can the student acquire the iron hand. Pan Inlan's hand is a formidable weapon. Pan now executes a basic step, the school's basic form. A form is a series of coded movements, often copied from imaginary animal combats. Each element corresponds to a defense or an attack. The mastery of a form requires years of work. In order to better comprehend Chinese martial arts, we needed to find a grand master. Master Lin Yun Chao, a soft-style boxing specialist, had just passed away. At the Chi Nan Kong Temple, we met Peng Wu Tsen, a disciple of Master Liu for 21 years. Here, Peng is practicing the Tai Zhu Chang Chuen form, from which Tai Chi, a form better known in the West, is derived. At first, soft-style boxing looks like a dance. The movements require no muscular strength, and one must be relaxed in order to do them. During the Japanese occupation of China, Master Liu was a secret agent. His code name was the Long River No. 1. Then he became the security trainer for President Chiang Kai-shek in Taiwan. Master Liu had a big heart. He accepted and tolerated the whole world. He brought together the three Chinese philosophies of Taoism, Confucianism, and Buddhism. He taught the purity and instinctive thinking from Taoism, sincerity and the art of self-cultivation from Confucianism, and acceptance and tolerance from Buddhism. Master Liu taught Peng several rare styles. The Fist of the Eight Extremities is one of them. There is no tension in the attack before the first contact. Strength is never used, either before or after touching the opponent. The stamp step helps Peng maintain greater stability so that he can carry out his blocks or hits. The applications of this form are very efficient. Eight trigram boxing consists of stepping movements that go in 8 different directions. You must move like a dragon in water, open your eyes wide like an attentive monkey, sit like a tiger ready to pounce, and move in circles like a gliding eagle. This boxing is based on the transformation book, the I Ching, a classical work of Chinese prophecy. The use of weapons is studied only after the movements have been mastered perfectly. The weapon is considered to be an extension of the hand. The use of extremities and edges are perfected in weapon use. Kuan Kong, a warrior god, guards these weapons, which have belonged to the Li family for 4 generations. There are 108 traditional weapons in Chinese martial arts, most of them unknown to the general public. Halberts or long-handled knives, also tiger swords, dragon phoenix knives, a mace, a flail. Contrary to common belief, the nunchaku is not a traditional weapon. Master Lo Man Kam is from southern China. He is the nephew of the great master Yip Man, who taught Bruce Lee. Thanks to Bruce Lee, the Wing Chun, or shining spring fist, is probably the most well-known style in the world. This form helps to loosen the sinewy muscles used to practice Wing Chun. Master Lo remembers.
I think I met Bruce Lee in 19...
I met Bruce Lee in Hong Kong in 1956. I think it was his first contact with the Wing Chun school, which was directed by my uncle. He was 15 or 16 years old. At that time, I helped Master Yip Man teach. I therefore trained Bruce Lee often. The Wing Chun style was created by a woman. Students come from all over the world to study with Lo. Wing Chun concentrates mainly on arm movements. The sticky hand technique is used to develop sensations. Arms are placed like antennae to learn precise movements and to anticipate the adversary's reactions. There is nothing there. It is simply a gesture to deceive you. Now you counter his movement and lower your hand. There. The wooden dummy used in Wing Chun is used to harden the arms and to practice blocks and hits. Some people claim that Master Yip Man taught them special movements. They say, Yip Man shared a secret with me. He taught it to me behind locked doors. But I don't think Yip Man taught special techniques to anybody.
I think this is a big mouth of the people.
People who claim the contrary are crooks who want to extort money from their students. Once a major in Chiang Kai-shek's army, Master Lo has adapted his traditional techniques to the specific needs of the special police force. My Kung Fu training has no secrets. My lessons are open to everybody. Whether you have already learned Wing Chun with other masters or other styles, whether you're a beginner or an old pupil from my lessons, no, I have no secrets. The teaching of Kung Fu is not simply demonstrations and periods of instruction. Students must assimilate everything in order to maintain the techniques and know how to use them. If you follow this logic, there are no mysteries. The only secret with Kung Fu is hard work. Traditional martial arts have also been adapted for modern competition. "40-year-old Jiao Chia Kui is a big competitor in Taiwan and a 3-time world champion. A mechanical engineer, he donates his spare time to train young women who wish to compete internationally. The training takes place in the middle of a council development. In Asia, martial arts are practiced in parks, in temples, in streets, and even in apartments. Anywhere will do. Master Yo Lin Chin was a champion of martial arts 36 times in Taiwan and 11 times in the Asian Games. Today, he is an osteopath. Nowadays, practice has been separated into 2 distinct parts, the work on movement on the one hand and work on breathing and qi on the other. The ideogram for qi is composed of 2 characters, a grain of rice, the steam which comes from a grain of hot rice. Energy rises from the body like steam from a grain of hot rice. Qi, translated as energy, flows through the body following the meridional acupuncture channels. Acupuncture techniques have been studied for over 3,000 years. The basis of Chinese energetics comes from the qi circulation. Today, acupuncture is recognized and practiced by modern medicine. The vital points specific to martial arts have been determined according to these meridians. If hit, they can cause serious injury or even death. Master Lin trains every morning in the gardens of a small Tao temple. The spiritual butterfly boxing was developed during the Qing or Manchu dynasty in the 17th century. An imperial law forbade the people to practice martial arts. Secret societies and groups sprang up in order to preserve their art and develop new forms. Styles such as Tai Chi or the butterfly were created at this time. To deceive the imperial powers, they did not resemble boxing. It looked more like a dance than an art of combat. When an adept practices soft-style boxing, he looks like a sick cat. But if he is capable of using this boxing in combat, he becomes extremely efficient. That is what Kung Fu is really about. I used to practice hard-style boxing, but as you get older, it gets to be hard on the body. So now I practice soft-style boxing. Martial arts are not incompatible with friendship and good living. Master Lin never refuses an invitation, but this does not affect his capacities. At this level, ceremony is not obligatory. Mrs. Chen Luan Yan was Master Lin's pupil. She loves to measure her talents against men. She is specialized in the Yang form of Tai Chi, which she has been practicing for more than 30 years. Mrs. Chen works on her forms every day. She has also studied every little detail of each martial application. Tai Chi is not only a way for her to circulate energy, it is above all a martial art, an art of combat. Around 5 a.m., parks start to fill with people working on their breathing methods. They gather here before the heat and pollution of the city fill the air. Aerobics and stretching are practiced alongside the more traditional occupations, such as Taoist gymnastics or other martial arts. Many Chinese love to sing. At dawn, they warble loudly like blackbirds in front of large crowds. In Taiwan, parks are an important part of everyday life because they give people a place to socialize and relax. Chinese checkers are played there. Along with traditional hair removal, they represent some of the many daily park activities. Doing an exercise which is closely linked to Tai Chi. They follow the theory that what is supple dominates what is hard. Mr. Tsai is an ex-military man with a passion for martial arts. Now 76 years old, he has learned to concentrate his techniques to avoid wasting energy. His push cannot be stopped. Master Zhu Xiaopen has been practicing Tai Zhu boxing for more than 44 years. The origins of this style date back to the Song dynasty, which existed more than 1,000 years ago. This style of boxing requires incredible respiratory control. It is an excellent way of studying qi. Inhaling is yin, energy enters the body. Exhaling is yang, energy is spread throughout the body. 220 years BC, the Emperor Qin Shi Huangdi was already saying, "To breathe is to live. To breathe badly is to live badly. To breathe a little is to live a little. One should cultivate the body and the spirit in order to obtain a real breath." There are two main styles. The external style, which is based on exercises for coordination of movements and speed, and the internal style, which promotes active concentration and the search for qi. The internal work encourages the circulation of the qi in the body and the cultivation of personal health. To gather the qi and to let it out for therapeutic benefit or martial practice is called tsing. It is then said that the person has strength generated by the qi. People who practice qi recuperate very quickly. A normal person will need 8 hours, whereas 3 hours will suffice for someone who practices qi. A long time ago, Taoist masters came to believe that trees could not only absorb carbon dioxide and transform it into oxygen, but that they could also calm the nervous system and reinforce the qi. The tree is a link between man and the energies from heaven and earth. Qi circulates in the blood. Blood circulation is regulated by its presence. It is like a massage for the body. Without corporal activity, qi does not circulate as well. The Chinese compensate for this with different types of massage. Walking on stones is an example of Chinese reflexology. According to traditional Chinese medicine, the sole of the foot has specific points which correspond to organs and the viscera. Stimulation of these points directly affects the organs. The same principle applies to the hands. Taking your pulse is a very effective and old method of diagnosis. A qualified therapist can define 28 different pulses to diagnose his patient's state of health. If there is a disturbance in an organ, the blood flow will be slowed and the pulse will be irregular. A normal pulse should be calm, uniform, and stable. Master Wu stimulates points along the acupuncture meridians. The qi is of the utmost importance. If the qi is blocked, then there is a problem in the body, and it is susceptible to illness. It hurts, doesn't it? Only a few people know of or are capable of doing this sort of kung fu. People are used to seeing adepts who are good with their hands and feet. But the secret of kung fu lies in the expulsion of the qi. Having a qi does not necessarily mean the loss of a sense of humor. You must use the qi, not muscular strength like in karate. Taiwan is a very beautiful island, almost a paradise with its ancient volcanoes reaching 16,000 feet. Forests cover about half the island. But the growing urbanization of the capital in the 1980s cut deeply into the natural landscape. A few years ago, before the construction of the orbital highway, this place was a haven of peace on the banks of the river Tanshui. For the last 45 years, Master Tong Mu has practiced in this grove under the highway. Master Tong is 76 years old. The noise does not disturb him, but he has to end his training before 10 o'clock in the morning because of the pollution, which is particularly potent. Master Tong has taught more than 3,000 pupils, but today Mrs. Ru is his last faithful disciple. He is the last person capable of doing Fukien's white crane style. The study mimics the attack and defense movements of the crane, a bird which essentially uses its wings for self-defense. After the age of 50, the external practice is generally impossible, but the qi allows martial arts to be practiced well into old age. The older the qi, the better he becomes. The crane method requires total muscular relaxation. Watch carefully. The strength resides in the contraction of the muscles. Meditation refreshes the body after a workout. It also helps to calm the mind and regularize the qi. This is not a karate lesson, but one of the most traditional schools in Taiwan. Karate originates from Chinese martial arts. Master Tong Chin Long started martial arts at the age of 6. Today, he is 80 years old. He is the technical counselor at the Shaolin Temple, where his parents were also students. His father was named Buddha's Iron Disciple. Master Tong started work in the Shaolin temples at a very young age. From there, he joined the Pakyu school, and then went on to join the Taoist sage Pai Yun Chan Lao, the master of masters, who taught him the hidden arms method. Master Tong has studied the 5 most important schools and their 7 branches with the greatest masters. Considered to be a walking Bible of martial arts, he is the guardian of styles that have been forgotten in today's China. Traditional martial arts have virtually disappeared from China. They have been replaced by modern techniques with demonstrations, including high jumps, based on beautiful gestures. These have nothing to do with the traditional art. It's sport. Master Tong is a real patriarch. He still trains his disciples every day. He has taught them many rare forms. This is the tiger form from the plum flower school. The tiger tries to lacerate his victim. The imitation of this animal is obvious. The crane from the plum flower school is very enigmatic. It is difficult for the layman to understand the gestures, which do not seem martial. It took Master Chi 15 years to master this form. Mr. Ro Fu Xiong has been working with Master Tong for 35 years. Practicing advanced styles generates a deep knowledge of breathing techniques. Every day, Mr. Ro does a gymnastics routine called the sunrise. With his breathing exercises, he increases his spiritual energy level. Mr. Ro was a trainer for the security services of an Arabian royal family.
要换过来哈，你看，再过来，好，再到这边来了，这个压的手就断了。然后呢，他会痛，那他会痛的时候，他会拉回去，对不对？拉回去的时候，你不能跟他拉哦，你要顺着他的力量哦，好，看到我们顺着他的这个手。
Thanks to Mr. Ro and his co-disciples, Master Tong's knowledge will continue to live.
好，变成这样。那这样他会痛，对不对？他一定要站起来，好，让他站起来，我们就顺着他的手，你看，又变成这样子了。
The evolution of this seizing style is typical in the history of martial arts. This style is called the art of the advancing hand. It is always possible to improve your grip or your technique.
是转了啦，好，那这样他会痛，对不对？啊，痛的话，这个手他一定要伸直啊，因为这样很痛啊，对不对？他手一定要拉直。
Patience and work are the virtues necessary to become an adept. 35 years of devoted training are necessary in order to obtain the title of master. As long as Master Tong is alive, Mr. Ro will still be considered a pupil.
这边呢，把它靠近这个手来，伸直，这个照角度最好。
Watch. This technique allows you to walk with the seized person. It hurts. If you put your right hand on his shoulder, he won't be able to get up. He will try to escape. Let his hand come back up and bring it close to your body while controlling his elbow. Because it hurts, he will try to lift his hand upwards. Use his strength to lower his hand and put it behind his back. Seize his jacket and pull your adversary towards you. You can control his arm with your shoulder. This way he is under control. If he tries to escape, you just push him backwards. You must not stand in one place. Often a mere step backwards will enable you to absorb the force of the attack. There, one step backwards. I can use my technique without difficulty. In traditional martial arts, we are relaxed. I have shown you the application. Now for the form. It's easy. In the a medicinal herb market in Taipei, drinks made from plants or dried, roasted or fresh herbs show the richness of Chinese pharmacopoeia. Master Liao Wu Chang was one of the most important medicinal mushroom specialists in Asia. He has been buying plants for many years from Mrs. Liang's little shop. He roasts them himself. Master Liao wanted to show us this place, which hasn't changed in over 60 years. Mrs. Liang can heal an infection with a plaster in 3 days. Guaranteed relief. Liao Wu Chang's reputation has carried as far as the Empire of the Rising Sun. He was the honored guest of the first Contact Karate Championship organized in Japan by his pupil, Master Masafumi Suzuki. He is the 8th Japanese Dan, an honorary title given only to great masters. Master Ryochi Sasakawa, ex-president of all the karate federations in Japan, was also his pupil. I taught the art of seizing and projection, the techniques of the monkey style, as well as a mixture of Chinese techniques in karate and judo schools in Japan. Master Liao, 92 years old, lives with his 6 wives. The last one is 60 years his junior. If I were to give advice, it would be to practice a lot. But I've given too much advice. People have to find the road to martial arts for themselves. And if I were to seize you like this, nothing and nobody can hold me.